Hello, friends. Please consider supporting the Flavors and Knowledge podcast. Donated proceeds are applied to absorb the cost of cooking classes and health education for children. Help a child affected with diabetes with a sponsorship donation toward adequately managing the condition through Food First. Chef Walter's Children Diabetes Foundation brings this message. Hello, friends. Welcome back to Flavors and Knowledge. I'm Chef Walter. Those of you following our podcast know that I like to share notions about food and healthy eating habits that could help you in expanding your knowledge. So often we purchase food on impulse or in family habits, which is not necessarily correct. This new segment on the podcast is called Focus 5. We invite trade professionals with various backgrounds, always related to lifestyle, and of course, food is a significant component. Essentially, we ask 5 questions about those who can make a difference in our life. Our guest is a lady of particular interest. I'm always intrigued by those who help others make responsible decisions and shape our lives for the better. Jennifer HELENE, MS, is an international health expert, fully immersed in cutting-edge nutrition, fitness, and spiritual true leadership. In addition, she is a serial entrepreneur and builds programs for health coaching, lifestyle change, mentoring programs, training the trainers. A former Ford model, master chef, and a Fox TV cast member, mother, seeker of truth, runs also Purposeful Food Ventures, and that's my broken English, helping moms succeed in revitalizing their lives, their relationship, their business, and overall health. And so welcome to you, Jennifer. Welcome to Flavors and Knowledge.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm delighted to be here today.
Great. Well, we begin with question 1. I promise you I won't keep you long. But the most important question I think that a listener would like to have some clear idea, something about you and the world of healing that surrounds your being.
Well, I learned very early on, Chef Walter, that food could heal or food could harm. And it was because of my upbringing. My mother was in and out of Overeaters Anonymous and Weight Watchers. And I, too, my first meeting was at age 5. But I also had a rare bone disorder, or a bone infection, I should say. They thought it was leukemia, but luckily it was not. But it became really clear to me early on that without our health, we have nothing. And our family's joy for food was immense. We gathered around food, we celebrated around food, and we were really just obsessed with food. And so it's been my life's journey and quest to find out how to celebrate flavor and abundance while maintaining a healthy diet, because there's just nothing more important than our health. And for me, part of the joy of living is also the flavor of food.
How important is healthy food in the development of a healthy body and mind?
I do believe it's the fundamental pillar in developing a healthy body and mind, mostly because we know now there's a gut-brain connection. And we're also knowing that the probiotics that we can take to help rebuild a healthy gut are not even as effective as the fiber that we eat. So the variety of fiber that we can get from our diet is going to populate our gut with healthy bacteria that creates a balanced biome, which creates a healthy brain. They've done studies to show that depression and anxiety are reduced, and that brain fog can be reversed, and that a number of other kind of mood disorders can be regulated through a healthy gut. And so cleaning up our diet and getting our diet back on track, which really isn't complicated, it's just a matter of balancing the diet and eating an abundance of ripe in-season fruits and vegetables, and finding ways that we love to get those foods into our body. And because hunger is going to come, Chef Walter, you and I know that, right? Just like the
Right.
clouds or the sun, the moon, it's going to come, and we just have to be prepared with things that we love, the recipes we love, the fruits and vegetables that we love, so that we can be filling up more and more and more of our plate with those healthy, colorful foods.
In most supermarkets right now, there are a variety of products that advertise for clean gut or, probiotics and so on. But many of them, of course, have been processed. What's your feeling about that? I mean, there are products out there that help the consumer in helping themselves, right? Are you one of those that purchase them regularly?
No, I think that the commercial grade probiotics that are found in yogurt, for example, are very weak. It's extremely expensive to make sure that there's a strong bacteria. When you look at the studies around how much beneficial bacteria is actually in a Yoplait yogurt or a mainstream yogurt, Dannon, it's really insignificant. So if you really want to invest in it, it's just that it's an investment. Some of the higher end brands of vegan coconut yogurt are upwards of $40 for a small jar, which is extremely expensive. So if
Yeah.
you want, pharmaceutical grade probiotics, you're going to find them in the supplement section at your grocery store, which you can then put into your foods. Oftentimes, I'll make nut cheese and yogurt out of nuts and seeds and coconut, and I will use those capsules to ferment and populate with a variety of bacteria. But it's an investment, and I do buy them. Don't get me wrong, but I don't believe that the ones that are in kombucha or the ones that are in yogurt are going to really get you very far. They don't think they're going to harm you, but
Right.
the added sugar in those products will. But so it kind of
Of course.
cancels it out.
Uh, the American diet, it's a theme that returns over and over again. What is your feeling? What should we do to help improve children's health? I mean, it's a nightmare all across our country that most of the industrialized nation really cannot believe that with all the funds that we spend on other stuff, we are not able to put together good programs for kids. What's your feeling about that?
I couldn't agree more. The American diet has proven to be extremely unhealthy. It has infiltrated other healthy countries and deteriorated their health. So it's pretty clear at this point that it's a disaster. Unfortunately, the majority of children are getting their food from the schools. So it goes right back to the family unit. I feel that we're in a crisis right now around the family unit. It's rare to find people who stay married. It's rare to find families intact, and it really starts in the home. Being the example for their children, making dinners, eating around the table, using whole foods, being sure their kids have what they need. But that's just not realistic. It's not where we are, and it's tragic because the health problems are extremely urgent, and we're finding children with diabetes and obesity, and it's setting them up for failure for the future. So what we do need is a real school lunch program, and there
Right.
are organizations. There's one in Seattle, there's one in New York, there's even one up here in San Francisco. And they figured it out, but it's logistically challenging. But they can make a school lunch program for the same cost they're doing it now, and even less in some cases. It just needs a bit more logistics to source it, because we all know that eating food from the farm, ripe in season fruits and vegetables, is the answer. It's
Right.
the answer. And so how do we get that into our kids? How do we get them excited about it? Well, programs like gardens at schools, but unfortunately, because of the federal government and lawsuit, threatening lawsuits, they can't really have gardens be consumed because of liability issues. So it's more
Right.
like a science project. But that, to me, is the answer, is having
Right.
children out in the garden and having children learning about uh, a plant all the way to the table, a seed to the table, and understanding the process of how a head of broccoli is grown, or a head of cabbage, or whatever it is. The children should be in the garden. We don't have home economics anymore, and we don't know how to garden. And to me, those are. I mean, it's like a survival skill to know how
Right.
to grow your own food. So it's a tragedy, and it's unfortunate.
This past week, I was watching a webinar on new trends and innovation here in the country. One of them spoke about Americans post COVID returning home to cook and cooking for themselves. In addition, there is this big surge of delivered groceries. Is this something new that's going to stay? What do you think?
I hope so. That's my hope. I really hope so. But there's also been people are complaining about putting on a minimum of 20 pounds during this COVID crisis. So it's good. And we need to find healthier solutions. So we just have to start getting courageous enough to experiment with vegetables in abundance, and vegetables that aren't, deep fried or coated with cheese.
Right.
I'm not saying that you can't use oil and maybe a little bit of cheese, but it's about the balance. So I hope it stays. That's my hope, and I have heard that too, Chef Walter, and it is inspiring. But we do have to kind of step out of our comfort zone a little bit and try some new recipes. Be willing to fail and try again. Because kids might not like it the first time, right? They're like, "Oh, what's this? Kale?
Of
Yuck!"
course,
But you got
to
to keep
reject it.
trying. Yeah, but you just keep trying. I'm telling you, as a mom of a child, I have a 16-year-old daughter, and she has been rejecting my nutritional guidance. But now at 16, she's finally coming around. She's like, "Mom, can we make this kale salad?" I was like, over the moon. I was trying not to act too excited, but I was like jumping out of my skin.
No, no, that's great. Are you kidding me? You think cooking is intimidating to people?
I do, and it's so hard for people like you and me to relate. But the more people I come into contact with, the more I realize they're just like, "Oh, that's too much work, and how do you do that so fast? It takes me an hour to make a green juice," and I'm like, start to finish, done in 15. So
Right.
cleaned up too. So I have to, I'm really thinking about how to help people become more empowered around the simplicity of it and the ease of it. And it's all in planning and prep. If anyone wants to be successful with their health and their diet, it's 100% about planning and prep.
Tell me some about your programs, some of the things that you offer, the logistic. How does it work?
Well, I have a 21-day lifestyle change program that I think is really powerful because it gets you back on track. So you can reset your health and really hit the reset button. It's going to be a plant-based program, and I give you nutritional guidelines, a shopping list, group coaching, and workbooks around commitment, acceptance, and freedom. And so that's a really robust program that will help you get your life back on track. If you want to kind of just dip your toe in the water, there's a free 7-day lifestyle plan that you can download on my website, jennifer-helene.com. And that'll help you get started and give you some ideas about, some great recipes, some new ideas, some
Right.
innovative
Of course.
thinking.
Well,
Yeah.
it seems like approachable to everyone.
You think, but most people find 7 days intimidating. They just don't know where to start. They're not sure.
We're just afraid of commitments, it seems. I don't know. But,
Yeah. No, it's true.
where do you see yourself in the future? Where do you have plans? Some new
Well,
goals or some new itineraries for you?
oh, I would like to be, really building a community around this topic of food, fitness, and mindset. And I want to see that grow. And I'd like to see a new version of it, not so much like on Facebook, but also retreats, 4 times a year in exotic places, real authentic connection and collaborations. I used to think that I knew exactly the way it was going to look, that, oh, my programs are going to scale, and then I have my 1-year program and then the intensive retreats. And yes, I want all of that to happen. But, we can't really know what's in store for us fully. And
Right.
recently, I've just found myself being open to whatever it is that this higher purpose wants for me. But I know for sure that I love talking about food, fitness, and mindset. And I want to keep sharing as much information I can with as many people who are as willing to listen, because I know what works after working now with thousands of students all over the world for over, 2 decades, almost 3 decades now.
Wow.
Yeah, I really am inspired, and I just want to make the biggest difference I can make while I'm here.
Before I let you go, you want to wrap it up? Anything else you'd like to add?
I just would
I
like
could
to
talk.
add.
I could have you for a long time here.
We could do it again, Chef
You're
Walter.
full. You're full of information. You're just
Oh,
amazing.
I really appreciate that. I'm really inspired because I've seen how people can heal. I've seen the miracles. And I just want everyone listening to remember that your health and your life is in your hands, no one else's. And it's
Right.
100% up to you to get the knowledge and information that's accurate, that's going to help you to lose weight, to have better body mass, to age more gracefully, and more importantly, to have more energy so you can do the things that you love and
It's
love the things.
amazing. I was one last thing before I read an article where diet is affecting also American in such a way that we are becoming a culture of stressed people developing anxiety, and I
Yeah,
never knew that.
yeah. The chemicals in the food, it literally, causes anxiety. It's terrible.
Imagine that. Jennifer, it's so great to listen to you speak. I want to thank you for your immeasurable knowledge and, of course, your insight into life in general. Those of you that are listening to us, you can follow Jennifer on various social networks. You can visit her website, jennifer-helene.com, and
Yes.
take a look at her exciting programs. I will have all the additional information on the show notes. And that is all here for us, part of Flavors and Knowledge. I'm suggesting to eat and to live in safety. If you are cooking today or tonight, always keep your eyes on the fire. And we reconnect on the next round with another interesting topic, or certainly another person like Jennifer.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Flavors and Knowledge is brought to you by Chef Walter's Cooking School in Cranston, Rhode Island. For classes, workshops, events, and programs, please visit our website at chefwalterscookingschool.com. For all other services offered by Chef Walter's Food Group, check out our main website, chefwalter.com.